Hello, everybody. So we are doing this special week. I think this is going to turn out to be with Treasures in America, treasure hunters. So we already yesterday interviewed Mr. Timothy Draper, who started Treasures in America, and he is a treasure hunter. And here we have Shaun Fotheringham.
Pretty good.
And I did a great job,
Yeah.
right? And you are on Tim's team, right?
Correct.
So tell us about your role on this team.
Well, I am the team's lead climber.
Okay.
So my job is to get us anywhere where we can't get to on hands and feet. You have what's called the Yosemite decimal scale. And anything and that's from 1 to 5 to 6, whatever, it's on a decimal scale. So anything from 1 to 4 is something that you can reach and get to without having to, use the aid of rope. Anything 5 and above is what climbers commonly refer to as, I climbed a 5'9" today, or I climbed a 5'10", or anything like that that requires rope or any kind of aid gear, trad gear, sport gear. That's where I come in.
So you're the Spider-Man of the team.
Yeah, basically. I like the way you put that.
You even look like a Spider-Man.
All right.
So the scale, what is the actual scale go up to, that scale you're referring to?
That I don't know. I'm still fairly new as far as climbing is concerned. I've always been naturally gifted, and I've always been a climber. I grew up in southern Utah, and there's many beautiful state parks, national parks where you can just go and you can get lost. I spent about 10 years down in the Vegas area, and then my family moved back to St. George back in '05. I've spent 20 years in southern Utah, and you can get lost there and just find places that, like I said, I've been there 20 years, and I'm still discovering places that I've never seen or been to.
And you probably have no idea what your full potential is on that scale either.
No, I mean, right now I'm comfortable at 5'9", 5'10s. I've done, and people will tell you I can lead a 5'9", but I could follow a 5'10". And then once you get into 5'10s, 5'11s, there's different scales as 5'10A, 5'10B. Some of the really crazy guys are climbing 5'14s. That's the craziest, most sickest route I've ever heard of.
So my thing is, as a wife, I'm thinking, how does your wife feel about this?
Well, since she upped my insurance, she feels really good. So I think she's good.
So how did you get connected with Tim?
I hired Tim, actually. My day job is a superintendent for a multi-million-dollar residential construction project. We build residential homes on a golf course down in Mesquite, Nevada. And I needed an assistant superintendent and a customer service rep. So I needed someone with the experience in construction that could handle the assistant superintendent position, but also somebody that had the personality and charisma to do the customer service end of it. So I went through a couple different candidates. Tim there's something about him that struck me as, this is a likable guy.
He's authentic and he's a standout.
You got to feel people out at first.
Right.
But yeah, I found that out that he's the real deal. He's a nice guy. He's very easygoing. And I put him through a tough, first couple months.
And how long was it before he revealed to you that he's also a treasure hunter, or did you know that right off the bat?
No, I didn't know that. You got to be careful. Not only just revealing things of that nature, but just sharing your passions, to people. You don't want to cast your pearls, before swine, right? So it took a while. We butt heads there for a little while. He needed to learn where I stood. I needed to learn how he likes to be managed. It took a while before we got to the point where we were friends. And then he revealed to me that, hey, this is my real passion. This is what I like to do. And I'm a skeptic, by nature. So at first I'm like, okay, yeah, right. You're a treasure hunter. And the first question is, obviously, what have you found? How come you're not rich? How come you're not Indiana Jones? But he got me I opened my mind up a little bit. I got to see that there's more to treasure hunting than just, the big score or the big cache that you find, or, there's a lot of depth to it. And so he revealed that to me, and then it just kind of went from there.
What do you think your greatest challenge is being part of the team?
Being part of the team, making sure everybody's safe. If we're going down a a mine shaft, or we're descending down a difficult route, or we're doing some canyoneering or anything like that.
They send you first?
Yeah. They send me first. I scout it out. I got to make sure that everybody's safe. I got to make sure that my gear is good, that it's not worn, it's not torn, that I brought the proper gear. So there's oftentimes I'm packing around way too much stuff. But, Boy Scout, you got to be prepared, just in case.
So what do you think you've learned about yourself during this?
What I've learned about myself and what my biggest challenge is personally is to get out of your own way. I think most times in life, we're our biggest hurdles. And so I've learned to be optimistic, to have faith, to go after and find something that you're passionate about. We get complacent and we get stuck in these ruts where, we just go about our daily life and we think, well, those friends and those people that we follow on social media, they're off doing cool things, but that's not me. I can't do that for whatever reason. And, if you get out of your own way and you just get up and go and you do it, it opens up all sorts of possibilities.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be working with a treasure hunter and you'd become a treasure hunter yourself? Did you ever imagine that?
No, I didn't see that in the works at all. Not at all. In fact, was inspired to go after my rock climbing passion through Tim. I was in a really bad car accident back in 2013. And I didn't know whether or not I shouldn't have survived. The type of injuries that I sustained, the doctor said that most people don't survive past the first night. For whatever reason, God willing, I'm here, I get a second chance. And there's certain things that I just thought, well, these are my physical limitations. I'm not going to be able to do these things anymore. And I think maybe Tim saw that in me. Maybe he saw that I needed some passion again. Maybe he saw that I needed to go after, something to spark a little bit of ambition in me. And that's what we like to do. That's what Tim did for me. He inspired me. That's what we like to do for other people. Go find your adventure. Get out there. If there's something that you want to do that you just haven't been able to do, or you've gotten your own way for whatever reason, you made this excuse or that excuse, just stop it. Get up and go do it. Life's too short.
How has being a part of this team enriched your life?
The biggest part that has really enriched my life is being a part of the team. Having this network of friends, the camaraderie of going out there in the field, pushing each other to do better, to motivate each other. Dave is our lead diver, and Tim and we're going to go pursue our diving license, so that way we can back him up. We're all out to motivate each other and to elevate each other, to push our limits and see what we're capable of.
What kind of final advice would you have to my audience, knowing that, a year ago you felt maybe in a rut and you're thankful to be alive, but probably not feeling like you were fully living to your passion or the extent of what, life had to offer you. So what kind of advice would you have for them?
Just don't let life pass you by. Life is too short. My situation, I could have been dead. You never know where you're going to be tomorrow. And every day that slips by is another day that's wasted. So life is precious. If you have something that you've been wanting to do and you just can't get yourself motivated to do it for whatever reason, write it down. Put it up on a chart. Put it up on a board. Create a vision board. Whatever you need to do to inspire yourself and motivate yourself, just do it. Stop dragging your feet and get up and do it. Our motto is go find your adventure. So get up and go find your adventure.
Do you think that you always knew that you had this passion for rock climbing, or do you think it was something that you discovered later in life?
Well, rock climbing is just one of the tools that we have in our arsenal. My passion is more inspiring people. I've always been an adrenaline junkie. I've always been the type of guy that jumped first and looked later. Sometimes that worked out for me, sometimes it didn't. But I've always loved the thrill and the adventure, whether it was climbing, backpacking, spelunking, cliff diving, whatever it was that gave me that little jolt that I felt alive. I've just kind of always chased that. But my real passion, I would say, is inspiring other people to do the same. you reach that edge of the cliff and you see someone's a little hesitant and they're a little nervous. They don't really
Push
want to.
them?
Yeah, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to give them that little nudge. So my passion is motivating other people, seeing them get up and do something that they like to do.
Last question. What was your favorite memory so far? What has your favorite memory been with the team?
My favorite memories are when the day's over and we're sitting down at the campfire and we are just busting each other's chops and just giving each other a hard time, you know, joking around, building that camaraderie. Those are my favorite memories, by far.
Thank you so much for talking with us today, Shaun.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate. We try to relate. This is my breakthrough. Whoa. Said now, this my breakthrough. Whoa. Oh man, this my breakthrough.